Hello hockey fans, it's time for Inside the WCHA. I'm Ryan Phelps. Remember, you can find us on your favorite social media sites like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Just search for WCHA Men's Hockey. And for live conference action, log on to flowhockey.tv where you can sign up for monthly or season passes. Coming into the weekend, Minnesota State had a 5-point lead over Bemidji State. 4 points back were the Wildcats. Then Bowling Green and Alaska tied for fourth. Michigan Tech had 25 points, followed by the Lakers, Bulldogs, Seawolves, and Chargers. It is a gorgeous day here in the Northland after a weekend blizzard. Fortunately, the snow didn't affect any of our games, including third-ranked Minnesota State, who spent the weekend on the road in Ohio. It was a battle of top 15 teams with the Mavericks at number 15, Bowling Green. MSU gets going early. They're on the power play in the first. Mark Michaelis gets it down low. Lucas Sauter, and look at this bomb. Charlie Garrard nails it. That's his 10th of the season. Mavericks take a 1-0 lead. Adam Conquest tied the game at 1 with his first career goal in the first. Michaelis popped in his 16th of the year, and just 8 seconds later, you see the ensuing face-off. Conquest again takes the carom off the end wall and tucks it in to tie the game at 2. Mavericks come back 5 minutes later. Nicholas Rivera on the rush, feeds Josh French out front. Second effort gets it to go. 3-2 Minnesota State. They scored 4 second-period goals. Julian Napravnik gets the eventual game winner on his 7th of the season. 6-3 the final score. Minnesota State gets the victory as Dryden McKay earns his 20th win of the season on 23 saves. Game 2, Falcons in their sweet alternative orange uniforms on the power play, and a great passing play to Connor Ford, who drills his 11th of the year, 1-0 Bowling Green. Same score midway through the contest, penalty about to expire, so the Falcons again on the power play. They leave Cameron Wright open out front, who gently puts his 15th of the year into the back of the net. Initially waved off for goaltender interference, but take a second look. And as you see, Sam Craigs tries to get out of the way, so the goal counts. It's 2-0 Falcons. MSU makes it a 1-goal game early in the third, and we pick it up with under 3 to play. And what looks like a harmless shot finds its way through. Josh French with his 3rd of the year, and we're heading to overtime. Jack McNeely with the wrist shot. Juicy rebound for Nathan Smith. Pack your bags. Minnesota State heading home with the road sweep. 3-2 the final score on Saturday. In net, both McKay and Eric Dopp for Bowling Green with 21 saves. Next up, we head to Big Rapids with Alaska at Ferris State. We'll pick it up after a scoreless first period and just 7 minutes remaining in the second. The visiting Nanooks on the power play. They work the perimeter. Tyler Klein to Chris Jandrick up top. Over to Steven Jandrick. His wrist shot finds its way through. That's his 6th goal of the season. And Alaska's up 1-0. That's all they would need. Oh, the ice gets slippery on the back check. Tyler Klein into the empty net. That's his 3rd goal of the season to seal the 2-0 victory for the Nanooks. Trying to find their way back to 500 on the season. Anton Martinson, great night. 34 saves in goal for the Nanooks. Saturday saw a lot more offense. We'll pick it up a few minutes into the second period. UAF up 2-1. And those offensive zone face-offs so important. Bulldogs over pursue. Steven Jandrick over to Kyler Hope, who nets his 5th of the season, and it's now 3-1 Fairbanks. But the Bulldogs come back. Down 3-2 midway through the second period. Jason Tackett feeds Zach Yoder at the point. A seemingly harmless shot gets through everyone. His 4th of the year, and we're tied at 3. But just a minute later, Alaska applying too much pressure. Justin Young able to sweep it past Carter McPhail in the Bulldogs' net. He was replaced by Austin Shaw moments later. And Alaska wasn't done. They pop in 2 more in the second period en route to a 6-3 victory. And again, another 34-save night for Martinson. Off to northern Minnesota, Michigan Tech at Bemidji State. Scoreless midway through the first period. Owen Sillinger on the right wing rush, hits the brakes, feeds it out front for Alex Iarulo, who buries his 3rd of the season, and it's 1-0 Beavers. Huskies try to even things up on the power play, but a turnover leads to a Hampus Shodo breakaway. It's a shorthanded goal, and Bemidji State leads 2-0 through 20 minutes. But they weren't done. Alex Adams with a great no-look dish behind the back out front to Adam Brady. His one-timer is number 12 on the year, and it's now 3-0. Sillinger would add another in the third for his 8th of the year. Alec Bretzman does get Michigan Tech on the board, 4-1 the final score. Zach Driscoll with 24 saves in the victory. That's number 12 for him on the year. But the junior goaltender was scrambling a bit in the first on Saturday. Tech applying pressure, and Bretzman comes in with a putback for number 12 on the year, and Tech's first lead of the weekend. Still 1-0 early second period. BSU bombs it down the right wing wall. Alex Iarula with a drop pass. Charlie Combs goes to the end line, zips through the crease, and beats Matt Jarusik for his 8th of the season, and we're tied at 1 through the final 38 minutes, so we head to overtime. And Tommy Muck causes the turnover. He's been great of late. Takes it all the way in on Jarusik, then drops it back to Adams, and he gets the game winner. It officially goes down as a 1-1 tie, but BSU will get the extra conference point. Driscoll with 22 saves as he allowed just 2 goals on the weekend. Our final stop is up in Alaska with Alabama Huntsville at Anchorage. And this one, much like Game 1 in Bemidji, it was all home team, and the damage was done early. Seawolves on the rush with Luke Brown and Riley St. Ange. They get it out front to Nick Wicks. He gets his own rebound to put in his 5th of the season, and it's 1-0 White. Same score just 3 minutes later. A 2-on-1 Trey DeGraff feeds Jared Nash, but the shot hits the heel of his stick and goes wide. No problem, DeGraff pulls it off the end wall and stuffs it in for his 4th of the year, and a 2-0 Anchorage lead, but they weren't done. Still in the first. Just too much pressure by the Seawolves. Huntsville can't clear, but Zach Nazarette gets a stick on it. That's his 3rd of the season. He would add another later as UAA goes on to win 5-1, with the victory going to Chris Carlson in net for Anchorage. He made 35 saves for his 2nd W of the year. Game 2 was scoreless through a period and a half before Luke Brown put the Seawolves back on top. This time the Chargers answer back. It's Bond, Lucas Bond. Bond with his first career goal knots it up at a goal apiece. But they weren't done. Closing seconds of the second period, Daniil Ladigan on the rush takes a vicious hit, completes the pass to Josh Latta, who puts in his 7th of the year, and it's now 2-1. Ladigan would be helped off the ice. Alabama Huntsville trying to salt this one away, but a steal on the penalty kill for Alex Fry. He takes it all the way in for his 6th of the year. It's a shorthanded goal to tie it up at 2, and once again we head to overtime, and the 3-on-3 ends in a 2-on-1. Tanner Shackle has Taylor Lance out front, but Shackle keeps it himself, and he scores the game winner. It officially ends in a 2-2 tie, but Alaska Anchorage gets the extra conference point. As freshman goaltender Brandon Perrone gets his first result, it is a tie, but he did make 18 saves on the night. Into the weekend, Northern Michigan ranked number 17 at Cornell, who was tied for number 1 with North Dakota. They tied 2-2 on Friday. Cornell gets the 3-1 win on Saturday. After the weekend, Northern Michigan moved up 2 spots to number 15, while Cornell is all alone on top. It was a weekend full of sweeps, if you include the overtime victories. That threw the standings for a loop. Minnesota State increases their lead to 6 points over Bemidji State, followed by Alaska, Northern Michigan, and Bowling Green. Michigan Tech is hanging on with 26 points, then a great race for those 7th and 8th playoff seeds, with Lake State just ahead of Alaska Anchorage, followed by the Bulldogs and Chargers. Coming up this weekend, Alaska Anchorage is at Lake Superior State, Ferris State heads to Michigan Tech, Bemidji State is at Minnesota State, and Northern Michigan heads to Alaska, while the Falcons and Chargers are idle. We'll wrap things up with our WCHA Weekly Awards. Our forward of the week is Steven Jandrick from Alaska, who put up 4 points in the Nanook sweep of Ferris State over the weekend to lead all WCHA skaters in scoring. The junior posted the game-winning goal for Alaska in Friday's victory before continuing with 3 points on a goal and a pair of helpers on Saturday. Our defenseman of the week is Reese Samolik from Minnesota State, who registered 2 points on a goal and an assist in the Mavericks' 2-game road sweep at number 15 Bowling Green over the weekend. He picked up his 2nd goal of the season to cap off the Mavs' 4-goal second-period outburst Friday, then assisted on the game-tying goal in the 3rd period on Saturday. Our goaltender of the week is Zach Driscoll from Bemidji State, who turned aside 46 of the 48 shots he faced against Michigan Tech on the weekend. He led BSU to a 4-1 victory on Friday and a 1-1 overtime draw Saturday, in which the Beavers won in the 3-on-3 overtime. Driscoll backstopped a penalty kill unit that was 7 for 8 on the weekend and finished the two-game set with a record of 1-0-1 and led the league in goals against average at .96 and ranked second in save percentage at 95.8%. Finally, our Rookie of the Week is Lucas Sauter from Minnesota State, who registered 3 points on 3 assists in the road sweep of Bowling Green. He had the third 3-point game of his freshman season with 3 assists in Friday's win over the Falcons. 1 assist came on the game-winning goal. That's it for now. We'll be back with more next week. In the meantime, check us out on your favorite social media sites or log on to flowhockey.tv, where you can sign up for monthly or season passes. Thanks again for joining us, folks. This has been Inside the WCHA. I'm Ryan Phelps.